We'll be starting in a few minutes. Well, you know how early I am. Anyway, hi everybody. Hope you're all well. Mindful Moodling will be starting in a few minutes. Well, you know how early I am. Anyway. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, at last, if you hear a knocking, banging and all soaring, it's the background noise around. Don't worry too much, it's just me beating the daylights out of the Wi-Fi. Anyway, good afternoon. I'm going to do something very special because I need to do something quite for me and you. And I thought, what can I do? And Dawn Goodwin, lovely Dawn. She loved many years ago. We did an elephant. So I thought we could just get straight on it and do our own version, but a bit of a tricky one. So what you need is, you ready? Piece of paper, pencil, rubber, pens. Right, so we've got a choice. We can do a head-on or side version. Okay, so if we do the head-on, there's a little bit more to it, but I reckon you're ready. I reckon you're ready for that. So I'm just going to wait for a few more people. We might not have it. I've noticed that people have got lots of. Oh, yes, I know. I'm ready. Yes, I know. Anyway, just going to. No, I didn't want that. Oh, where are you now? There you are. Just going to try and remind people to come along. I've not got my mouse, you see, so I'm flicking and clicking here. I'm just going to put it into the group. There we are, so bear with me. Anyway, please, can you get onto the group and choose the winner? Because I'm having so many issues, and I know people are trying to get hold of me and stuff. It's just, and I've been helping out and working, so it's been a bit of a crazy time, but good time, really good time. Don't get me wrong. It's just that if I've missed something, I do apologise. It's not on purpose at all. It's just brain fog, my fog, work fog, Lou fog, you whatever you want to call it. So I thought I'd do something quite special today, and I'm just posting out now while we're sat here. I'm just posting out some little streams so people can come on or ignore me, whatever they want. Just letting them know. So let's have a look. Where are we? In the comments. Let's go to comments. Let's see. Woo woo. Right. Oh, what have I heard you for? Hi. So we've got the first one is hi Jenny. Hi Alison. Hi Val. Good morning. Afternoon, Facebook user. Hi Dawn. Hey, this is for you, this one, Dawn. Emma, my mucker, how are you doing, sweet? Facebook user, hello. And we've got Angela. Hey. Yeah, it's been a really crazy one, and it's like I've been trying to do everything and do it, and you know, like 2 step forwards, 9 back, that sort of feeling. So I've been a little bit off piste, and it's just through me, especially with working, because it's not. I don't want it. Of course, I've got to. It's just I don't even know how I worked before. I really didn't. I don't know how I work, so to speak. So I've got a couple of ideas. We could do a really simple. That sounds awful. It's like the cat's dying. So we've got a really simple, we've got a head-on shot where where's that scrappy drawing I did? Oh, you won't even tell on this. This one's side on, just looks like a bottom at the moment, doesn't it? But it's a side on with the trunk there. Or we could do the where it's charging at you. Or quite a simple, I think the simple shape would be a bit easier and more doable. So that could be the one. So let's go for it, shall we? So there we go. Right, so I'm going to start. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure you can see everything. So I'm going to draw the box, right? Got that? Circle might need a bit bigger, the circle, okay? And a sausage. Now, that does not resemble in any way, shape or form an elephant, but you get the gist of where it's happening, don't you? It's sort of, well, sort of. You've got to have a lot of imagination. I understand that. Yeah, a lot. That doesn't deem itself well. You look at it, you think, even with poetic license, sorry, let me just move my arm. Even with poetic license, that one's a bit dodgy to see, isn't it? So let me try and pull you. No, I'll put over here so I can see you. There we go. Yeah, so that it does look a bit wrong, doesn't it? It does look a bit wrong. It doesn't matter. Trust the journey. Trust the journey. So how are we going to get that from what I've just drawn? I agree. So let's sort of draw it in and get the shape going. Now, what we're going to do is just round off the bum. Okay, so just round it off and then down. It's a really simple, stylized one, this, nothing too fancy. So here we're going to put in now, it might be you need it to be a bit bigger. So we're putting in the shape. Okay, so the next one is that shape. And we're following that round, yeah. Okay. So we've got this shape. It would come down a little bit here. So now what we're doing is we're going from here. We're looking at this here now. So I'm just going to put in, and it goes, all depends on how big and stylized you want your ear. So if you was drawing a circle, it'd be there. We don't really want a circle, so we're going to draw like a, I don't know what shape that is, but there, and then just come straighten that a bit, and then up. Okay, so I'll do that again. So we've got the big circle there, so we're going to go, now it's way too big that, so I'll draw that in. All right, so you've got a simple shape. It doesn't look too right because I'm looking at it on the screen and it needs to have a flatter head, but you've got the gist. It's a real stylized one. So as we move round, we're just going to go flick. Okay, so I am going to just put a bit more of a head there and a bit more of a wiggle there. And then we've got the general shape of it. You know, this, like I say, these are very stylized. All right, I'm going to tidy this up a little bit now. So I'm going to go round these corners off. And I'm not going to do them too round. I want them to be a bit more. So I think I'll pull that in a little bit. That looks better for me. Get me? Pull that one in. So it's softer here. And then you can do your either like that or like that. It's entirely up to you if you want to put the feet up. So then we've got the back. We put the tail on it like that. Let's look at the nose and trunk stuff. I can't see your comments at the moment because I'm just looking at what I'm drawing. So I'm going to take out a lot of these lines. I hope you're enjoying this because it's a very simple way. It's not by all means, please. I realise people are looking at this and going, what? She calls herself a teacher. I understand that, but mine's, when I'm drawing to teach, mine's the best path for least resistance, if that makes any sense. Basically, it's the easiest way of getting a shape that's gratifying so that you want to move on. Otherwise, if you spend too much time getting this shape, you'll never do it. So I'm just taking out some of the lines, but don't worry. So I've got a little bit too round here. So I'm just flattening the head out because it would have, I've got a picture of an elephant here, you see. And I'm trying to break it down into simple shapes for you. So it's got a shape like that. Oh, looks like it's had an accident. I'm going to do another line there just to see if that's better. So I'll do it again. So it's flatter, it comes up a little bit more, flatter, rounder. How does that? That looks better. If you can't get that right, just make the ear bigger because it compensates. Okay, so now we're coming down to here. Now, the one I had before is there. I am just going to bring it in like that. And to me, it's starting to look a little bit softer now. And what I'm going to do is just bring in the trunk, and I'm going to do it with very fine lines. And I'm just going to go I'm going to see which way I like it, because if it's like that, does it look rubbish? Does it look better if I just hang it down? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Show you some different ones. See, that's quite a nice one. So you still have the same shape, you just if I wanted to do that one, entirely up to you what you want to do. I'm using a putty rubber at the moment and I'm using super smooth card. I'm using the 300 print stock from Craftmaster. I love this to draw on, it's great. But because it's a putty rubber, it's really hard, it just squidges in your hand. So I'm going to go with whoa, too small. I'm just going to go with a simple line like that to get there. Now let's see, I'm looking at there to there. It could be a bit lower, I think, if I'm looking at his eye properly. Well, not properly, this is hardly a proper drawing, but it's a cartoon. So if I drop that down to there, that's okay. Because then what I can do is when I do the headdress, I could drop that on there like that. Right, okay. So we've got the basic shapes. Let's just go and have a quick look and hope you're all right. Uh, They're beautiful. Just looking at some of the comments. Curled up. Great. Yeah. Anything you prefer, you do. I did give you a bit of a they are, aren't they, Emma? Funny creatures, aren't they? But all animals are really, when you look at them, drawing them. Hello, Caroline. You start to say, "Oh, Ellie, oh, I know, Dawn. That's why I've done it for you." But all animals, all things can be broken down simply. I mean, this is a really, really simple drawing, but you've got the idea of what it is. You know, someone's going to look at it and go, "Oh, yeah, that's an elephant." Well, if they don't, then there's a reason why. There's a reason why. Now, mine's super stylized, so I get that. And I'm going to use a 0.3, and I'm going to go straight in now with the decoration outline first. So I'm going to settle. I'm going to move my paper out to get the best. So bear with me, and I'm just going to use my wrist flat on the table, single line, nice and slow. Take my time. Take my time, no jagged movements. That's why you put so many of the pencil lines out. Then that way you can just come along and choose a pencil line that's the right one for you. So and breathe. So I'll move that up a little bit. I'm going to leave mine there because I might change it in a bit, I'm just going to move this round. I'm looking at his ear. Right, I like this bit, so I'm just going to go for it. I'm not messing about. There. Okay. Don't forget we're decorating it, aren't we? Head. Nose. Oh, it's got a right big head, hasn't it? Oh, love him. Love him. Anyway, so now while I'm doing this, I'll just put in that line because that's going to be my first line. And then that looks like the decoration. So if he's got a whopping great big head like mine, it don't really matter. So I'm going to rub out the stuff now. This looks amazing on black paper. So I've left out the side of the trunk, the bottom, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing with that yet. I can't remember how I drew it last time. There's all sorts of ways of drawing them. As long as you get the main shape, it really doesn't matter. Or the shape that you best fit for purpose, yeah? So just do whatever is what you want. Don't worry about anybody else. You're not drawing it for them. This is your time. So now I've got a simple line cleaned up. I've got the main gist of my little elephant. Let me just get rid of. There we go. Okay, so I've got the main gist of it. Now, I've still not decided on this yet, but it might be that it drops down. I think that's going to be the best one. I'll try it like that. I'm still thrown. Right, anyway. All depends on what I do. I will put pattern on this. So the first thing I'm going to do, are we ready? Let's go for it. I'm just going to put in like that. So 1, 2, 3. So they follow. I want it to be quite smooth. Right, well, if that's the case, then he's having a great big whopping trunk turn up then. There we go. Got a right curl on that. I'm going to just do it. Just do it. There we go. Commit. Okay, I've committed. It's done. So what I'm going to do now is just, where's my pencil? Just going to go if you want to get me. So the lines go all the way along. You don't have to do that. It's just an idea. Okay, it's just an idea. So another line in. So on the head one, I've already got one in. I'm just going to put in another one. A bit longer. It'll just be doing that to the ear there. And then I want to accentuate the ear. So it could be like that. I'm just giving you some directional lines. They don't have to be like this. Nothing has to be like this. You do what you want. So I am going to now put that in. Okay. Now, these are not finished. These are, as we would say, work in progress. I don't know why I've done it straight. That's ridiculous. It's too big. It is too big, but there. And that lump there is too big, but it really don't matter when it comes to it. So let's have a look. I'm going to put the first set of lines in. So I'm going to start this way. And I'm just going to, as a work, I'm just going to draw in the lines. So I might not draw them all in because I might change the pattern shapes. But at the moment, I'm just going to go like that. They're not toenails. I'm not interested in doing toenails. You can if you want. You can put them in there. Nothing to stop you. I mean, they look like toenails now, don't they? So I'm just putting circles within circles there like that to get that nice. Okay, so we've got a zigzag. Do another one. Now I've done them to the line, but I've not drawn a line. Right, okay, let's get some nice patterns done here now. So here I'm just going to put in some fine lines around them. I've got my legs flat on the floor, giving them a wiggle. Like that. Now, nice simple lines. I'll bring you a bit lower actually. Okay, so you can see. This is brown. No, it's not, it's black. So here like that, little fine lines. So we've got some nice gaps there. So here we could do the opposite if we wanted to put in 3 lines there. Okay, and we could do there. What happened then? It's done it again. Sorry, it went off again. Are we here? So I've put the similar lines in, but I've not done them in exactly the same order. So some circles in here just to give it some more pattern. And then I will do that similar. Okay, so we've got those two done, which are quite pretty, aren't they? So now I'm going to look at the V's, or whatever you want to call them. Like that. And while I'm on it, I'm going to do these as well, so that I've got continuity. There we go. Don't. Again, using some very simple lines. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll do this one. Oh, missed that one. Sorry if my hands don't way. There we go. So we've got like in here and out here. So I'm happy with that. We've got, you know, and I know we've got the bits here. If we want to continue them, we can. And I think this is, might be, you know, a nice way to sort of do similar, but change them up slightly. As long as it's the same sort of pattern. There's lots of different ways of doing it. So here we could have just miss that out. Don't have to follow what I'm doing. These are mere suggestions. As I've always say, it's like ingredients for your recipe. Hey, we're still there. Oh, I'm so glad to see people are enjoying it. That's really, I'm really glad about that. So we've got these. He's got his pajamas on. But I'm going to go now, and I'm just going to put in there. Oh, sorry. I realise I'm not near to the camera that I'm going to be knocking the camera, so I do apologise. So we've put circles, semicircles in the triangular bits there, because we can start to make these look like crowns and things now. Now, you notice that I didn't put that line in because I didn't want that to be, I wanted it there as a guideline. So we've got 3. Now, I'm not going to put them there because it'll look like poo. So it'll just look like it's having a quicken, and I don't want that, you know. And here, what we could do is a big droplet. So it looks like jewellery. No, I'm not. Oh. Did I put it there or not? Oh, yeah. Like a poo. Did I put it there? Yeah, I'll have to because it's annoying me now. If it looks like poo, I'll just change it a bit. So now I want is 3 of them. See, once you've done this, you really don't need me to show you. Sometimes it's just being, oh, I've done 3 there, 2 here. Let's get another one in then. Sometimes it's just someone giving you a bit of a dig to do it. Come on then, get on with it sort of thing. Right, so I've got some quite nice like patterns happening there. Right. Now here, I'm going to continue it. I'll tell you why, because that could be all his blanket or not, or whatever it is he's got on. So that looks a bit neater now. Well, I think so. So while it's there, let's get rid of any rubbishy lines that might spoil the design. Okay, quite like that. It's nice. So let's look at what we've got here. So I've just put concentric semicircles, and then I've got some gems here because I'm doing some work. I could put little gems on that, couldn't I, to make it look really pretty. So okay, right, now I'm going to look at his okay, so that really dodgy looking blanket is the same as the foot at the bottom with the alternates. So we've got that same pattern. Thinner line all the way there. Doesn't have to be neat. And unlike me, you don't have to hold your breath. So I've added another one in there, which looks really nice. So I'll put another one in, give it a bit more space. And adjust your size accordingly. It looks like I could really do with another one there, just to, because otherwise it doesn't, it just doesn't look right, does it? Well, I don't think so. So again, let's get, now these are straight lines. I know some of you will be shouting, get your hand out of the way, but it's a bit difficult to draw with your hand 6 foot away from your pen and paper. So yeah, there's a bit of a problem with that one. We've got the main part of the body, which I'm really liking, but I think it should have a simple feel to that. And you could either use it to your advantage by putting nothing on it, or you could think, right, okay, well, I'll have a pattern that goes all over that. So everybody looking at your work, or if they don't look, it doesn't really matter. But if they don't look, they don't, there's this distinct mark between where your pattern is just pattern and where your pattern is, what's it called? Like background sort of thing. So here, I'm going to put a little bit of a fringing on here. So I've got these here. I'm going to make them. Oh, let me get rid. So here, I'm going to make these into circles, okay? Like that. And then I'm just going to draw tassels, okay? Just like little tassels. Shorten. Like that. Little tassels. Now, you could do the same on his tail. Just give it. So we've got like the main focal point of the elephant's legs. A little bit on here. We now need to know what we're going to do on here. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a semicircle, okay? And if you want to, just to put these lines in for you. I'm going to draw it like that, okay? So it gives you an idea. So first circle, I'm just going to put in okay. The next one might move it in a little bit closer, just to there, and the next one. Like that. So we've got that circle. I'm going to pay really good attention to this headdress because I think this is where I'll get really arty-farty if I want to, for want of a better word than that, I know. But so I'm just going to put in another thin line. Like a scallop line like that. Let's look for another. Three circles. So I'm just going to colour in the middle one. Like that. So that's quite a heavy part, and I'll look for another part and the whole design. It might be that, say, here to give the whole thing sort of more balance. I've done all my washing this morning and it says no rain and it was spitting, so I'm keeping my eye open. So here we go. Right, we've got his headdress, which helps that he's got a big whopping bump on his head, but never mind. Could have a crown on that, couldn't I? So next, I think we need to bring in that shape. So here I'm just going to put in like jewels, I think, like that. So it's got like a really nice jewelled headdress. I'm going to get rid of the line that's underneath because it's annoying me. There we go. And I think we also need two there. Like that. Sorry, I was a bit out of focus there. So yeah, put like little jewelry things there. And then I'm just doing the main part of the front to look like that. And then I'm just going to put in here a scalloped edge. Like that. You can put more in there if you wish. Little dashes to make like little blocks. And you could put a little diamond in them. It's got a whopping head. Whopper duper. So here, move him round. Let's get his ears in. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put like little, they're almost, I suppose they're almost like a rice stitch or a small piece of rice. There we go. Like that. So we've got a nice pan coming around his ear, which you can then add your own like that. I'm happy with that. So the next one is, let's look at just circles. Now, there's nothing to stop you compensating for the size by just making them darker, filling them in. So nice. And as you get nearer the end, I'm just going to follow that mark and do them quite soft as well. Here, I've decided I'm going to put in 3 like that, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, like that. I think that works quite nicely. And then half a diamond thing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to his ear, and I'm just going to say, right, well, what do I want here? Not too sure. I don't want too much on it. So if I just do a shape like that. These are all very organic. They don't always have to be following a particular shape. They can be as and when you want them to change. There's, nothing to be. You don't have to think, oh, once they're like that, they're set in stone. You know, it's so we've got his head, he's got his, and I'm just going to put in some like jewels here, like that, just to put. Why not? We can have jewels. Got jewels on his head. Could have earrings in if he wanted. And then one of the graphics for eyes is real simple. Right? You can make it bigger if you wish. Like that. So it doesn't have to look stoned. Right, let's have a look at Mr. Elephant in his altogether glory. So I'm looking, and maybe something here that would be, I know. Right, so 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So circles inside the little flower head there, the spaces. So here we'll just do a bumpy line there. We'll do a big circle and then we'll go good old pointillism. Put a bit in there and a bit round his eye, just to fill in. It's not really to fill in, it's just to put a design element on it, I suppose. So I'm just putting dots in there. But I do think he needs quite something a bit nifty around here, so I think just going to put a little scallop. So from the inside. So here I'm just going to put in a cross. Pattern in. Just making it up. If you can't get one underneath it, don't put one underneath. If you can, you can. So we've got that, and then we'll have some. Right, what shall we have? Nice shape in the middle. I know. Paisley-ish. So we've got the design there. All I'm going to do is put some simple lines through. Beautiful coloured this. But really pretty coloured. On black with a white pen. Or done however you want. I think just to put every now and again some little dots. I'm not being super precious there, because if I am, I won't be able to get them all in, you see. So there we go. Right, what I am going to do is these little black dots to create a pattern around his nose. So that sort of comes in there. I'm making the nose up, the one for the nose up as I go. Like that, and then might put some more, you could put some more dots in there if you wish. I'm just putting in a circuit, a sort of soft scallop to that. So I don't really think that needs much more. I'm going to lift you up a bit now so you can see the whole thing. I don't really think he needs much more. I think he is in a good place at the moment. You could add whatever you want. Oh, how long has it took? Wow, it's not took an hour for us. We're getting faster, aren't we? So what I am going to do is put in some really simple shading, and this will really help definition. Oh yeah, you can put his tusks on there, you know, if you wish. There, it's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to put in a tiny bit of pencil shade in here, just to give him a bit of depth around his lug holes. It's not really, I suppose it's not depth because I'm not trying to shade it too well, but I'm just trying to differentiate between that and that. And then here, it does need a bit. You can sort of just putting that on. And it's not, they're not eyelashes, but they, I suppose they do look like them now. Yeah, if I was to do it again, I won't give him a big crack on the head like that. It looks a bit like he's been battered. Get rid of the tusks. I've not drawn them on, so I'm not going to put them in now because I've already got the pattern on. But yeah, his tusks would go there. You could, if you wanted to take this one step further, you could put another leg in there and the other leg there like that. Get me? So the other leg would be slightly in behind slightly behind and come there. That's if you wanted it to look more 3D, but this isn't flat. This is a two-dimensional effalump. So I'm just going to look now for anything else that needs a bit of depth. And this is where you sort of faff around a bit with your own style of shading and pattern, and you know, it's preference now. But the whole point is enjoying it, not being sort of too led by having to be too neat or, you know, all that rubbish. Just enjoy your time like that. Enjoy what you're doing. Don't, you know, don't get too stressed. If you get stressed, then what you've done is just basically ruined everything you've done, because it's the whole point is to de-stress. So if you're there panicking, you've just completely totally stressed yourself out. I'm just going to put in this here. Clean up with the edge of that. What I might do just here, I want to give it like a blanket on a blanket feel. But this is great. Get my palette pens out. There we go. We've got a bit more shading, so it looks like he's got his blanket in there. You know, blanket on a blanket. Do the next one. Do it with this as well. You could put some shading whenever you want in his eyes. I don't think there's much else for me to do apart from colour. So let's have a quick look. Let's see if we can see it all. So yeah, I've really loved doing this. It's been an absolute... Thank you, Andrew. I think hopefully you'll be able to see how seriously easy it is to just find the shapes in objects and then go with the shapes. Once you find the circles, the squares, the triangles that each little animal or object has and break them down, it becomes a lot easier, because you start to recognize, oh, I could draw it like that, and that's half the battle. I'm just putting some like little, they're not fleur-de-lis, but little picots on those now. Don't know if it needs it. I don't really care. I'm just enjoying it. But I like the odd picot. There we go. So, any more picots? I think we still need a little bit of darkness in there. So I'm going to darken some of these down, and it just hopefully... I've got itchy nose. Right. So that's that one. So we need to make that dark then. That's it. That looks... And always leave your blocking in of colours to the last bit, because they hide all your sins. They hide all your sins. These could be bright colours. They could be paint, mica powders. you know, you could emboss all sorts. If you've got an embossing pen or glue, you could add your glue and your glitter on this now. And then I'm filling in the darker areas. To you and me, it's colouring in. Just going in with my pen, and then I'm colouring in my little Pico Fleur things. There we go. The answer to a lot of questions I get asked about how the designs and that is start small and repeat those patterns, but in lots of different ways. And then what happens is it looks very cohesive because of the same patterns, but it's just like, oh yeah, I can see that's there and that's there, and it makes it look interesting but not sort of too heavy. Here I want to do little buttons, leaving a little bit black. Now some of these are a little bit too small here, so this is great because you can just do it right with that. And then here I'm going to put in a black line just there, and that'll make it look even darker for the pattern there. Yeah. I'm in love with my little fella there. I think it needs right. I'm done. Oh, that's so good to hear from you, Carol. It's lovely to hear from you. And yeah, I understand. I'm trying my best to split myself in several different, directions, and it's not hard. It's not easy, and it's easy to sort of go under if you're not looking after yourself. So this is very much what I needed as well. And please, can you go on and go into the album that says Coronation to the event? And can you just, it's the person with the most loves and likes that wins. And there's 8 people, not as many as I thought, but there's 8 people who've done the work. So, we need to pick a winner. And I prefer it if you pick the winners. So, yeah, if you could do that, that would be brilliant. And then it don't look fixed or anything like that. Because you know what the 80s are like. Oh, it's all fit, da, 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 da. And it in. Right, see how he's coming along now, isn't he? So I'll bring him a bit closer for you. And I hope you have enjoyed your time today. I've thoroughly enjoyed having an hour with my friends, as always. Thank you very much to my Patreons, because you keep me going. Without you, I won't be able to do any of it. Thank you to everybody that supports me. I do appreciate it. My admin, amazing. And thank you to, I've got to say a big shout out to the, not just my admin, but my DT, and my friends, everybody who loves me. Thank you for the Oscar. So I will see you probably this time, beginning of next week, if this silly Wi-Fi thing's all sorted out. all gone on the dinner, aren't they? Sod's law. So they'll be asleep now for till 3 and then work for half an hour and then they'll be home. Anyway, that's not fair. I love you and leave you. Thank you so much. And yeah, if I can help you in any way, you know where I am. You take care. All right. Bye.